Hey everybody, Silver's here from Team Chaos, and I'm going to give you a tutorial here on how to use the ME crafting system from the Applied Energistics mod. I'm going to show you how to make crafting some of the more advanced things in Minecraft a lot easier, like quantum or ultimate hybrid panels, things like that. We're just going to use your everyday items like your electric furnace, macerator, things like that, your compressors. So I'm just going to give you a quick example here. I'm currently on my own base here, which is on the New World Mod Pack PvP server, which is why I have my coordinates hidden here. I'd like to keep my base a secret. So for my quick example here, before we dive into me showing you how all of this works and how to craft it yourself, we're going to make a mass fabricator. And as you can see, I don't have any, so when I click on it, it gives me the option, do I want to craft one? I'm going to say that I need 2 of them, and I'm going to press begin. I can then come over here and look at my ME crafting monitor, and we can see that it's going through the patterns that it requires to get to the end result. You need advanced machines, machine blocks, things like that, advanced alloy. If we run over here to the compressor, we might be able to catch something. Yeah, there we go, so we can catch it crafting some things here in the compressor that it needs. And if we run back, I think it might have finished. Oh, no, it is still working away. So it's almost done. There we go. So we've finished one, and it's now moved on to the second one. So as you can see, this makes it much easier. I don't have to craft each individual piece myself. The crafting monitor can do it. This is all the patterns that I have. And these interfaces store the patterns that we send to the furnaces and things like that, and I will show you how to do that on a different instance. I just happen to have my base here all hooked up, so it's good to give an example of how it can look. You can hide it, you can make it look pretty good. My base is fairly square, but you can be far more creative than that. So let's jump on to a single player instance here, and I will show you how to do this yourself. So the mod pack that I'm using is a little out of date here. It is currently being updated right now as I film this, so by next week we should probably have the later version of Applied Energistics, but I can at least get the basics rolling for you. So you do need some sort of power source. I'm using a couple of ultimate hybrid solar panels here. You can use whatever you have. You can use Buildcraft power. It will work off of both MJ and EU. I believe it is a little more efficient with MJ, but ultimate hybrid solar panels, if you can make them, you can't really beat them, and that is what I use. So to get started off here, we need an ME controller. This is the primary thing for your entire ME system. This is where you connect your power to. This then controls everything. You need a access terminal. So the first thing you'll probably build to access it is the default access terminal. I'm a little further in and I'm using a crafting terminal, and just for the tutorial I'm also going to use a crafting terminal here. We also need ME drives. So this is just actually the item that encloses the drives. This does not actually include drives or any type of storage. This is just where you put your storage. So let's get the basic ME up and running. So we just got to connect the controller, and there we go, it's powered up. It's currently using 3 units a tick. It's now up to 6. So what we're going to do here is we're going to now connect to the crafting terminal. As you can see, it does not connect to the power, only the ME controller needs power, and it then distributes the power throughout your network. So the ME system itself is pretty boring. You can't really do anything here until you add some drives. So even once you have some drives, you can't store anything here. It's still pretty boring. You can't really do much. So we need to add some storage. So I currently have some 64K drive storage. If you're just starting out, you will probably start out on the 1K storage. They're pretty small, but they get the job done, and they're easily a very good starting drive. So just to go over the storage system quickly, as you can see on this one disk I have 2 of 63 types. This means that I can have a different ID for each item. So for example, if an iron bar, I can stack 15 stacks of iron bars. It only counts as one type. The storage bytes used will go up, but you know, I can have as many bars as I can hold in there that only count as one type. It's not a great description of it, but once you get into it, you'll understand a little easier. So now that we open this up, we can see this is what I currently have stored, and you know, now we can put things in here. So this is a basic ME system. You have drives, the crafting terminal, and the controller, and of course your storage disks. So the real reason for my tutorial here is to show you how to automate crafting. So we need to then build a, what do they call it? They call it the molecular assembler chamber. And to do that, I believe from memory we need 32 ME assembler containment walls, 25 ME heat vent, 4 ME crafting CPUs, and 4 ME pattern providers. Now this is just to build the most basic version of it. You can build a far larger version of it if you like. I would normally build this in the ground, but as I started a flat map here, I don't have that far to go down. So you generally build a 4x4. So I'm just going to build this quickly and hope that my memory is good and that I only need 32 of these. And let's see. Let's just finish this up here. So there we go, we have the basics of it done. So yep, 32 is correct, and then we want to add our heat, what are these called? Our ME heat vents to sort of all of the surrounding areas, and just leave the front open. So I was a little wrong, it's 24 of those we need, but we do need 4 CPU and 4 pattern providers. So we will pop our CPUs in here, and we will pop our pattern providers in here. So we got a shift click to pop the rest of those in, and then we close that up with our heat vents, and there we go, it changed. It's now our ME assembler chamber. So we need to now connect this to our ME system. If we look at our controller, we can see that I currently only have 2 drives and a crafting terminal connected to it. So we need some ME cable, which I have in here. So I'm going to grab a little bit of ME cable, and you can connect any piece of ME to any piece of ME. So I'm just going to put this here and here, and that's all I need to do. There we go. So we now have 4 pattern providers for CPU. You know, everything's now connected up. Let's kill this now, and we can pop that and put our spares into the ME system. So we need to put some patterns in here. So we need another item here, which is the ME pattern encoder, and you also need blank patterns, something that you write your pattern into. So this does not need to be connected to your network. You can put this wherever you like. And this is where we put our patterns. So I did not have the forethought to make a pattern, so let's just take some iron dust here. I'm going to take the where's my pulverized version? I guess it's okay, so this is a macerated version. Okay, that's good enough. Let's go with that. So I'm just going to turn cheat mode on here. I'm going to take a little bit of iron dust, and what I'm going to say is we're going to need something to cook it in. So we'll take an electric furnace, and we need 2 transformer upgrades. We can take 10 of these, and we'll grab an energy storage as well. So let's pop this furnace right here. Let's put in our upgrades, and that just pretty much means it won't explode when we connect it to the high power that the ultimate solar does. So there we go. Now, to make the pattern, I need to know what I'm going to get. I need to know what I'm putting in and what I'm getting out. So I go to my pattern encoder, and I say I put 1 dust in, and I get 1 ingot out, and I press encode. So even though this pattern does not technically exist within the game, I'm telling it that it does. So grab an ME interface and pop that on top of your electric furnace, and then you need to connect that to your ME system, and I'm just using the basic generic ME cable. So in our interface, I'm going to pop this pattern, and I'm telling it that if you want to craft 1 iron ingot, use 1 iron dust and send it here. So if we go in here, I now have the option to craft an iron ingot. So I'm going to say that I need 64 of those and press begin. And of course, as I do that, I realize I've not given myself a crafting monitor. I did make some of those. So let's then connect the crafting monitor up to our ME system. So I'm sorry if this is all scattered. This is my first tutorial here, so I'm learning how to make this better as I go along. So if we look in the ME crafting monitor, it's given up. Okay, so let's try that again. It says it's missing iron dust, so it will only try for so long. So if we put some iron dust in there, it's going to tell us that it's crafting it. Well, it still thinks it's missing some iron dust, so let's start it again. Begin. Okay, so what it has actually done is it has attempted to craft it for us. So if we look in here, we have 63 iron ingots, as we should. So we need to get these ingots back into the ME system. That's why it thinks that it hasn't crafted any, when in fact it has. What we need to use is preferably an ME precision import bus. The precision version of it will allow you to pull in a whole stack. So we can just connect it, and as you can see, it straight up connects to the existing system. By default, it's moving 1 per tick. If we click this little button, it'll move the whole stack. So there we go. We've now completely automated how to craft iron. So if we just grab a whole lot of this dust here, and we pop it into here, we can now say I want to craft 122 or 128 iron, and it's now sending it over here to craft, and then it's being pulled back into the ME system. Oh, attacked by a slime. Let's kill that quickly. And it really is as easy as that. Now, more simple, non-machine patterns can be made. So let's just say we want to make a furnace. So I need to give myself some cobblestone here. I want to, tell my ME system how to make a furnace. I can put the pattern in here, and if there's a pattern known to the game, it will do it for you. So I can press encode. Now this pattern, because it doesn't require a machine, I can just pop right in here. And now if we look in here, I have the option to craft a furnace. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to say I want 10 furnaces. And there we go. And I have 8 furnaces because I run out of cobblestone. And it'll tell us in here, I only have 2 left to craft, but you're missing some materials. So if we add some more cobblestone in there, oh, did it give up? No. It just doesn't realize we have the cobblestone yet. I'm not sure why it's doing that. It's not normally buggy like this, but you get the gist of it, and the sort of idea how it works. And in using that, you can really craft anything. You just send it to whatever machine you want, so you just build more patterns and more patterns and more patterns, and hopefully that'll help. Yep, so I guess give me some feedback, and I will possibly redo this video. I will definitely be doing another version of it shortly once the mod pack that I'm using is updated. I'm using the New World mod pack. I play on the PvP and the PvE server there. It has a pretty good community. The PvP server is definitely not for everyone. It is a raid server. People will destroy your stuff. Be careful if you do join us on there, and maybe check out this mod pack. It is being updated, so we will have the later version of the Applied Energistics mod hopefully by next week. And then I'll do another tutorial with using the quantum network bridge. So I hope this helps, and if you do have any further questions, just maybe leave a comment. I'll maybe do another video for you. Thanks.